I'm just looking at the gas over there. Ours are, what are they, 7?
No, 6.
I think the
Kilo?
6 or 7 kilogram.
Or 9.
And they are, what does it say on them?
I'm sure they're 11 kilo.
Something like that. So I'm just going to measure it, see if it'll fit in our compartment.
Because you were talking about we'll probably just end up buying one of those, didn't you?
Yeah, keeping our 2.
Yep.
And buying another one, an Irish one.
Go measure up then. They look the same size. I think probably the only difference will be is like the circumference of them. I think one of them would fit in our little cupboard. They look roughly the same size, just maybe the circumference looks fatter, don't they, babe?
Now they're 3 inches taller, but it would fit in that way.
Yeah.
And they're 1 foot wide, so I need to measure the base of this. So that would be cool, wouldn't it, if we could get 11 kilogram instead of
it would last
6
longer
or 7.
as well, wouldn't it?
Yeah, there's 6 these.
Yeah, so it's like near enough double the amount of fuel.
Whoa, they're a lot bigger. Should still fit.
Of course they would. Look at the gap in there.
Yeah, I think we'd be all right. Yeah, definitely.
So that would be perfect then, wouldn't it?
Yeah, so I think we will get. The only problem now is getting one with a bottle without giving them a bottle back. Because if you go into these petrol stations, they're not going to want to mess around with paperwork, are they? They'll hate that. So we need like a proper dealer.
You worry too much, you do.
Right, you've got to keep your eyes peeled now, Mazzy.
Uh-huh.
On the left-hand side, look for a little cottage. Blue, it's there, I can see it. So if you see the cottage there, Mazzy,
yeah,
the blue cottage, that is where 2 very, very, very famous people stayed.
Okay.
Nicole Kidman, the actress,
Ooh.
and Tom Cruise.
Ooh.
I think they were married to each other, I'm not sure.
Yeah,
or they are married to each other. But it was in the film Far and Away, which we watched the other night.
It was so good. I really enjoyed it.
It's not a bad film. Not a bad film. Apart from Tom Cruise's terrible Irish accent. But yeah, that's where they stayed when they did the filming.
Wow.
And we're actually going to see one of the filming locations, one of the best filming locations, very soon.
What, from the film?
From the film.
You can just barely see it in the trees.
Well, you don't want it to be too noticeable, do you? If you're Nicole Kidman and Tom Cruise, you want it to be a bit secretive. So we just stopped here. Just behind you there, Mazzy, there's a Celtic and Prehistoric Museum. And it's run by a busker called Harris. A retired busker.
Okay, that's cool.
€4 to get in if anyone wants to go.
Yeah.
We don't really fancy a museum today, we'll be honest.
No, don't look open.
I think it is open, I can see a light inside actually.
Okay.
But yeah, we're giving it a miss, but it's there if anyone fancies it. Right, we just drove past the fairy fort.
Oh, you didn't tell me that.
Yeah. You know where I said, oh, I didn't realise that was where we were supposed to park. Yeah. And we were too late, we'd gone past it. That was the fairy fort.
Oh.
Another prehistoric fort, which has never been excavated because they believe it's where fairies lived. So they don't disturb the fairies in Ireland.
Okay.
You leave them alone. And now we've come to here, which is prehistoric 500 BC site, Dunbeg Fort, which we're not going in there either, are we?
It just doesn't look. It looks like a building site.
It is fenced off.
Yeah.
It's €3 each to get in.
They've not bothered.
A couple here who've gone up to the, you know, there's a little shed there where you pay, and they must have warned them. Sorry, but it's blocked off at the moment because there's loads of tape and building stuff down there. Yeah. Now apparently it is falling into the sea, so whether it's fallen into the sea literally with the storms, I don't know. But yeah, we're not going down there. So honestly, I had today planned really well, Mazzy. And the last 3 places we've passed, we've not stopped at.
It's going alright.
So up there, you've actually got a tiny little bit of a famine village.
Yeah, it looks really good.
They abandoned it in, well, 150 years ago, did a certain family. But that building you see there, in season, it's closed at the moment, but in season you can go up and go into the little cottage and just have a look at a few of the artefacts in there. €3 each. I'll tell you something, Mazzy.
Yeah?
One thing we are doing today is we're saving a lot of money by not going in anywhere.
Well, no, this isn't open. We just found out that fort, half of it fell into the sea, so there's nothing there. Yeah?
Yeah.
We're saving money.
There is one more place coming up, which I'm hoping is opened.
Right.
I think that's €2 each, and we will go there if it is open.
Ooh, sounds interesting. I have no idea what's happening today. This is all new to me. So this is what a lot of the sites are this morning we've been to. They're just on people's land, aren't they?
Yes, and they tend to have like a little hut where you pay.
That's the hut on this particular one.
Yeah, it's just farmers' land usually. Charged €3, €2. I think this one's €2 each. And it's to go up to the beehive hut structures.
Yeah.
You know, you'd normally get it free in most places, but €2 each, come on. We need to see something today.
Yeah, you don't mind.
As long as the weather holds out.
Yeah, it's just started to rain again.
So on his way up to the beehive huts.
This is really steep.
It is very steep. Luckily it's not a long way, they're only there. Check out the amazing view you get from here. Lovely. There's a lot of rainy patches around. We're trying to avoid that if we can, so I better speed up and catch up with Mazzy. So here we are. There's quite a lot of these beehive fort type things, beehive huts.
Oh wow!
This is supposed to be one of the best examples in Dingle, and it is.
Oh wow!
Check some of these out. Come on, Mazzy.
Yeah.
Let's go exploring. So you're officially stood inside a beehive hut. What do you think?
Yeah, I imagined it being totally round.
So did I, I'll be honest, but it's not, is it? It's like square at that end.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, yeah.
This side's rounded. That side isn't. Yeah, it is a strange shape.
What were these used for?
I don't know. I've got a little leaflet which I'll look at in a moment.
I've got one too.
They're also known as Coffins, apparently.
Coffins.
Coffins.
Okay.
And I think they date from about 1200 AD.
Wow.
That's not as old as I thought, actually. I thought these were like before Jesus, but they're not.
Yeah.
1200 AD. That's like castles were built then. So this isn't that impressive, really, is it?
So it's only like 800 years old.
Yeah.
But they called it prehistoric, didn't they?
Maybe I'm reading it wrong, I don't know. Here's the little leaflet we've been given, so if you want to read through that, fill your boots. But maybe I'm reading that wrong, but I think it's saying they're only 800 years old. Not sure. Anyway, that's enough for telling you anything about it. Let's just have a quick look around them. You've got to be very small, very small. That's only about 4 foot tall. Oh. Oh. Okay, this one's a lot bigger and this one is round. This is how I expected them to be.
Yeah. Oh wow.
What's in there?
I don't know. Secrets.
So what I'm reading from that leaflet is, I think this was literally just like one farming family who lived here. That have had the sheep and the cattle and stuff, and each of these would have been joined by doors and stuff. It's just like a house, just a weird shape. And they used stone because stone is plentiful around here, and it sure is.
Where's your cross there?
Oh, there's the cross. I was just reading about the cross. It's a very nice cross, Mazzy, but it does look like the farmers put that there with an angle grinder. What do you think?
No.
Would he do that?
Do you think there's like burials behind it or something?
Who knows? Who knows? Are you going in?
Should I go in?
Yeah, you.
This one's more exciting.
It's a very small one.
Oh yes! Oh, this is so good.
Do you like it in there?
You need a torch.
Yeah, I can't really see, I'll be honest. Can you see any bees?
No.
Can you see anything? Is there any furniture? Any shelving? Pictures on the walls?
Come on in.
Oh, well, I'm a bit older than you.
You made it. You struggled.
Getting old.
So that's the ceiling.
It's quite impressive how the stones just hold each other on.
Yeah.
It isn't going to cave in. It's warm.
It's, well, I wouldn't say warm, but it's quite tight. Yeah.
It's as warm as our motorhome.
Yeah.
Yes, it's an impressive place. There's a lot to see. There's a lot to it compared to some of them. You know, if we'd have paid €3 just for one of them huts, it'd have been a bit disappointing, but I don't mind. You know, just to see a sight today, I'm happy.
Yeah, even the views was worth it anyway.
The views are amazing.
Yeah.
And then up here, there's even more to it. There's like little bits of them here.
This one looks like a pathway coming down.
Yeah, and there's a pathway there. I don't know if the farmers put that there or what. But yeah, it looks like it went on quite a bit. There must be people buried here, Mazzy, somewhere.
I reckon there's more here.
And it needs metal detecting, that's what it needs.
Excavating.
Yeah.
A bit more professional than just metal detecting.
How dare you!
We can't get up there, but we've just noticed another kind of exact similar thing, isn't it?
It looks a lot bigger.
Yeah. It's obviously not on this particular farmer's land.
I made a bit of a boo-boo. Well, one of us did. The camera says the disc is full, so what we think we've done is we've left it on record and as we've been driving, and it's emptied the battery and filled the card. So I'm having to take everything off the card, put it on the computer. Whilst we're waiting, Mazzy's preparing lunch. And while we're here, this is an amazing spot, guys. If you have seen the film Far and Away, if you haven't, watch it, it's worth watching.
Yeah, definitely.
But the best scene out of it is right at the beginning, where Tom Cruise, was it Tom Cruise, yeah?
Yeah.
Tom Cruise's dad dies, and they're carrying him in a coffin just behind, just at the other side of that hill bit. And then this big bad naughty man comes, says, right, you're on our land, you're not paying your rent, so you can get out. And this is whilst the funeral's going on, they're carrying the casket, which isn't very nice of this man. Anyway, and then his men set fire to the cottage. So whilst they're taking his dad to be buried just over there, the cottage is on fire here. And the other interesting part about that is the man who was responsible for that. Do you know what his name was, Mazzy?
No.
Lord Ventry.
Oh, the guy you said earlier that you didn't like?
The guy I mentioned earlier, yes.
Okay.
So we've just passed the village of Ventry.
Right.
Lord Ventry is the guy who brought over all the strange plants and palm trees and things.
Yeah.
And he's the one who burnt down Tom Cruise's dad's house.
In the film, he's the fella with the big mansion in the film.
Yes.
He's a real guy.
He is a real guy. I didn't know that myself, but yeah, that is Lord Ventry.
Oh, that's really interesting. That's actually really interesting.
For today's wonderful lunch, sausage, chips, egg and spaghetti hoops. Check out the egg. That's not one egg. That's actually 3 eggs made to look like one big egg. You can't even see it joins, can you? How did you do that, Mazzy? How did you make that look like one egg?
Magic.
Where's edges? Where's edges at eggs? Brilliant. What have you got?
I've eaten. I'm just reheating leftovers. So
Leftover what? What on earth is that?
Sweetened carrot mash and some cherry tomatoes.
Mmm.
It's nice. I'm looking forward to it. this view today, honey.
It is very nice. There's a lovely cross here. I thought we'd stop and just get a picture of that.
Beautiful. Wow.
This is amazing, Massive.
Yeah.
Check it out down there.
Gosh, it's windy. It's blowing the camera out of your hand.
Oh, this is beautiful. And then you've got Jesus. That's Jesus.
Oh, I
Not
love
sure
it.
who them three are. Beautiful, beautiful, Massive.
Yeah.
And then over here, check this out. Can you see this amazing view here with the most beautiful blue sky?
Blue sea.
Blue sea.
Yeah.
That is the most westernly point of Europe
Oh.
and Ireland. That's amazing, isn't it? This is what it's all, honestly, this view. I want to live right here. This is amazing.
Dan's trying to take some pictures with it. You're struggling,
If the
aren't you?
footage is a bit shaky, it's very windy. We are at the very end of Europe.
Single track road, yeah. If something comes now. God, we'd be messed, wouldn't we? Just be careful, honey. Go slower. Oh, wow. It's proper gusty up here, guys. Dan's pulling some funny faces, trying to get his little photos. Bless him.
I'll just very quickly show you a map, show you exactly where we are. So here's Dingle Bay. Here is Dingle, where we set off from this morning. So we've come around here, and we are here. And as you can see, the most westernly point in Europe is there. And then I think we're going to be sleeping probably up here somewhere tonight, and then do the rest tomorrow, and then back to Dingle. So Dunmore Head, the most westernly point in Europe and Ireland. Just across from there, you've got the Basset Islands. Sorry, the Basset Islands. Now, between the head and the islands, which is only a little stretch, apparently in 1588, I think it was, the Spanish Armada, they came over and tried to kick England's heads in. England kicked their heads in, so they were running away with Spanish, and they came between these two islands, about 5 ships, and one of them didn't make it. It sunk, Mazzy. Bad weather.
Wow.
Bad weather. Bit rainy, bit of wind.
There's a wreckage there.
So there's a
isn't there?
wreckage. There is a wreckage somewhere.
Can we go and have a look?
Well, unless you've got snorkeling gear, I doubt it. It's called the Santa Maria della Rosa. That's a nice name, isn't it?
I like the way you said it. Quite sexy.
Santa Maria della Rosa. What are you looking at? Hello? Are you dancing? You're beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Have you ever heard of Charles Lindbergh?
No.
He used to do aeroplanes.
Okay.
He was the first person to go over the Atlantic.
Yeah.
I think he went from Canada.
Yeah.
I don't know where he went from.
You're
It was the
making
first.
this up,
I'm not
aren't you?
making it up. No, Charles Lindbergh. He was the first person to go solo in an aeroplane across the Atlantic, and this was the first place where he saw when he came over in his plane.
Oh, okay.
And you can imagine how amazed the locals were when they saw this big plane in the sky. They'd never seen a plane before. Can you imagine what you'd think when you see a plane and you've never heard of one, this massive bird in the sky? Yeah, he was going towards Paris. That's where he went to city, and he came over here.
It's definitely somewhere you got to stop, isn't it?
It's the best view.
Yeah.
The best view we have seen.
Yeah.
Honestly, just the very, very tip of the most westernly point in Europe and Ireland. It is absolutely stunning. And the colour of the sea, it just makes it. Yeah, you have to stop here. There's a motorhome parked over there. He's been there for about 2 years, Mazzy. He's on park for night. I've got a picture of him there, look. I'm sure that's the same one.
That do look like the same. I don't know if it is. The Last Jedi.
Star Wars, The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
Filmed here, Mazzy.
Yeah, did you know that?
I did, but I keep forgetting about it because I don't think it was actually here. I think it was on the island just over there.
No, they
The Basset Island.
They wouldn't have a sign here if it wasn't here.
I don't know, they might have done something here. Who knows?
So we've made it to where the camper is anyway. He's not been here for 2 years, has he? You're funny.
Might have been.
Now he's sitting in the back of it having his cuppa.
What a view. So Mazzy's staining the van for this one. Just a very, very, very quick stop. The Great Basset Islands. Over there, you can't even see it through there, can you? The people who lived there, there's no church or burial ground over there, so they had to be buried on the mainland, right here. As you can see, there's not many people buried here at all, because there wasn't many people on the island. Well, there's actually somebody buried here who is very famous. None of you will have heard of her. She was a storyteller. A lot of the people on the island actually wrote books, and she wrote quite a few books. And she used to tell all the people on the island ghost stories and things, all the kids. And she was really good at storytelling. They all spoke Gaelic on the island, and I believe they left the island in about 1958, something like that, 1940s, 1950s. And it's not been inhabited since. But here she is. Here she is. Peg Sayers. I don't know if you pronounce it Peg or Peg. Yep, it's all in Gaelic, so I can't tell you anything what it says. But quite a famous person. You know, you might be interested in looking her up. What I will say is the Great Basset Island. If you put that into YouTube, there's actually a really good documentary on the islanders. It shows them all then. It shows Peg telling some stories. Really interesting woman, really interesting island. And what they'd actually do, they were like farmers over there. They would row from over there to over here. 30 minutes that would take them. And then they'd walk 12 miles to town to sell the produce. And then they'd have to walk 12 miles back and then row 30 minutes back to the island. Can you imagine how hard a day that would be? Hard life them people lived. Got to respect some people who are so committed to life to do something like that. Oh, it's bitter now, it's bitter, but it's beautiful. The Basset Island, the Great Basset Island People's Burial Ground. Well, I'm sorry, Mazzy, but that's going to have to be your view for tonight. I hope you don't mind.
Well, I've got no choice, have I?
Say goodbye to everybody.
No, night, guys. Goodbye.
See you in the morning. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks for watching. Please comment and hit the like button. That helps our channel grow.
If you like what you see, click here to subscribe. Check out this other great video.
And if you really want to show your support, join the club, become a Patreon for extra videos and perks.
The more support we get, the more content we can give. We'll see you tomorrow
On Travel Trolls TV.